You will find more bad husbands because love marriage is a marriage of intense emotion. And so where there is intense love, there is intense hate also. When marriages fail, husbands start seeking a soulmate. They think that a soulmate will change their life. They think that a soulmate will be better than their wife. But this is just an illusion of their mind. Such a husband will make the same hell out of the soulmate as he has been making out of his marriage. Nothing changes except for the word, the label. Such a husband can change the word wife to the word soulmate, but he is the same. He is the same person. He hasn't changed. And as long as he remains the same person, he will continue to make the same hell out of soulmates. To all those wives who have suffered in their marriage or who are suffering in a marriage, you all must understand that whenever you suffer in marriage, it is primarily connected with your past life karmic deeds. Sometimes the husband is the most bad, insensitive animal whom you have to tolerate because of certain compulsion. In this podcast, I am sharing certain planetary placements that signify a bad, insensitive husband who is as good as an animal. In fact, animals are also better because they at least have some gratitude. But such a dirty, poor character husband is an ungrateful man and causes much pain to his wife. The worst a husband can do is to doubt his wife's character and to call his wife a prostitute. And a husband who physically abuses his wife or cheats his wife by sleeping with another woman is indeed a very unfortunate thing to happen. And at some stage of life, such an abusive, cruel husband has to pay back for all that he did to his wife. In a woman's chart, the foremost planet that signify happiness from marriage is Venus. The second planet is Saturn. Since Saturn rules the 11th house of the Kalapurush Kundali, and Saturn is also directly connected with past life karma. The Prarabdha karma comes under Saturn. And Prarabdha karma is the karma of your past life. Remember, karma is of three types. Prarabdha karma, that is your past life karma. Sanchit karma, that is the whole sum of all your past life karma. And the Kriyaman karma, that is the karma that you do on daily basis. Prarabdha karma, Sanchit karma, and Kriyaman karma. So karmas are of three types. And Saturn signifies the Prarabdha karma. So when your marriage is failing or when you suffer in your marriage, it means that your Prarabdha karma is not good. And you have to take special effort in improving your Kriyaman karma. Kriyaman karma is the karma that you do now. So if you start doing some good karmas now, that the next life you will have a better version of a husband. The third planet is Jupiter because all ceremonial rites such as marriage or court marriage is validated by Lord Jupiter. The fourth and the last planet is Sun. Sun signifies your status and dignity in society. Failure in marriage can impact the woman's dignity and status in the society. So Venus, Saturn, Jupiter and Sun signify the overall condition of marriage in life. Now that I have discussed the planet signifying the condition of marriage, I will now discuss the houses in the birth chart that are married life. If you look deeply, then you will realize that in the Kalapurush Kundali, second and seventh house is ruled by Venus, whereas 11th house is ruled by Saturn. And both second, seventh, and 11th, all the three houses are very critical when it comes to a married life. I will now quickly highlight certain placements that signify a difficult, insensitive, bad husband. Whenever Saturn is in Buran Nakshatra, or whenever Saturn is with Ketu or Saturn is with Rahu, challenges in marriage is seen, as well as if Jupiter and Sun are afflicted, that the marriage can break apart through a legal divorce. Husband is always difficult to handle in such scenarios. Whenever Saturn is in Ashwini Nakshatra, the seventh house is occupied by Ketu, then marriage is challenging. Husband is difficult to handle. Whenever Venus is placed in the seventh house and Jupiter, Saturn are afflicted or placed in sixth, eighth, or 12th house, then also marriage becomes very challenging. The fourth point is whenever seventh house Lord is placed in sixth, eighth, or 12th house from the womb, then the native gets married to a person she dislikes. Basically, she is forced by her parents to get married to a person whom she dislikes. Whenever seventh house Lord is ascendant chart and seventh house Lord in moon chart are placed in sixth, eighth, or 12th house, and when Venus is afflicted by Ketu, then marriage is problematic. Husband can cause much pain and suffering in the native's life. Whenever seventh house Lord is combust and Saturn's seventh Drushti is on the seventh house, and seventh house Lord is in the 12th, 8th, or 6th house, that marriage partner is difficult to handle and a divorce or separation is possible. Whenever Rahu or Ketu occupy the seventh house and the seventh house Lord is combust, that the marriage partner is unable to connect with the native, since both have very different mindsets and different thought processes and ideology. Whenever seventh house Lord is combust, sexual satisfaction is missing, and many a time the couple may avoid sex due to difference in opinion and disputes in marriage. But this placement signifies long break in sexual life. Whenever seventh house Lord is retrograde and Venus is afflicted by Mars or Ketu and seventh house is occupied by Ketu, then sexual satisfaction to marriage partner is less and the native remains sexually unsatisfied. Always remember, whenever Ketu is placed in the seventh house, in the ascendant chart as well as in the Charit chart, then the native is unable to find sexual satisfaction through his wife or through her husband. However, sexual satisfaction is possible outside marriage. So many a times, Ketu or Rahu in the seventh house can lead to an extramarital life. Whenever Sun is with Rahu or Ketu and Venus is placed in 8th house, while 7th house Lord is afflicted and 7th house is occupied by a debilitated Saturn, then marriage partner is a difficult person and the marriage struggles to survive. And now comes the 11th point, the last point. Whenever Jupiter is in the 7th house, seventh house Lord is combust or associated with a malefic